What's going on, guys? GeoSnow right here. So in today's video I'm going to recap what is new in the jailbreak community, and also I have some bad news and some good news for those of you waiting for a jailbreak or already using one. So I'm going to start, of course, with the first thing, that is a new Substrate Enabler for the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus users. A lot of you are using the Yalu Jailbreak now, created by Disco. That is, of course, something good, and you probably know that for the iPhone 7 there is a special version of the Yalu Jailbreak. It's called Mac Portal plus Yalu Beta 3, and that jailbreak is completely different compared to the Yalu Beta 7 for all other devices. Well, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus users do not have the proper substrate enabled, and of course, they have to enable the substrate, the mobile substrate, for themselves in terminal or using various things. Now, the reason I'm presenting this only now, despite the fact that it has been released probably a week ago, is the fact that I was very skeptical at the beginning. Because this is not the first substrate enabler, is not the first substrate fix for the iPhone 7, and therefore I decided to test it first, and only now I had the opportunity to do so. So yeah, it's definitely safe. You can install it on Cydia, you can add this repo on Cydia, and you will be good to go, and you'll be able to have a full jailbreak working on your iPhone 7. Well, that is part of the good news. One of the bad news is that, if you remember the Pangu for iOS 9.2 and 9.3.3, and moreover if you're still using it, then you probably know that it comes with a certificate, a 1-year certificate embedded into the application. Now, the only problem in here is that the certificate, a 1-year certificate, is probably going to expire very, very soon. Now, if it didn't already expire, it's going to expire in a couple of days or weeks, which means you're going to need to find an alternative if you're still running iOS 9.3.3 jailbreak. Well, one of the alternatives would be, of course, this one. And jailbreakme.qwertywoodyapp.com is a project you probably do not know about from Disco, released a while ago, a couple of months ago, and it's created by him and the Pangu team for iOS 9.3.x. So what this does, if you press go, is going to replace that Pangu thing. It's going to jailbreak using this interface in here in mobile Safari. It makes use of a vulnerability that is very, very powerful and therefore very dangerous. So Disco has created a jailbreak me patch in here, a tweak that will fix the vulnerability if you're using this jailbreak, because of course it can do a lot of harm if it's used by a hacker across the devices that are, of course, running iOS 9.3.3. If you're still running on the Pangu jailbreak for the iOS 9.3.x, then you will be good to go by using this, even if the certificate will expire inside the IBA provided by Pangu a year ago. The next thing I'm going to recap is the MOSEC 2017, or the Mobile Security Conference. This is actually organized by Pangu and another sponsors. You can see all of them in here. And is, of course, as the name says, a mobile security conference. But why is this important? I have already made a video on it, and in that video we discussed about it in depth, so the video is going to be available in the description down below. In today's video we're just briefly touching on it, and the reason I'm doing so is that you probably know that the last year at MOSEC 2016, Pangu has demoed what was the first jailbreak for the iOS 10, even before the iOS 10 was out. I mean, it was in the beta 1 and they had already jailbroke it, which means they're going to probably do it big again at MOSEC. And although we do not know what they're going to talk about, as you can see, Pangu's schedule is not filled yet, we do know what 2 speakers are going to talk about, and it's going to be pretty interesting. The first speaker is called Max, and he's going to talk about Apple Watch jailbreak. Now, for a lot of you, Apple Watch doesn't mean anything. A lot of you are not using an Apple Watch, and therefore you do not care about the jailbreaks. But this means that we're going to have a speaker who has jailbreak knowledge on the MOSEC, which means it's going to be interesting. And he said in here that he is going to cover I'm going to quote, "I will cover a sequence of vulnerabilities and exploitation details that were used in the initial kernel memory dump, sandbox bypassing, kernel-level ASLR bypassing, and kernel-level code execution, and finally setting up an SSH tunnel to a watch." Current talk also will focus on techniques used in the process of making an Apple Watch jailbreak. Pretty much like the Fried Apple team did on the iOS 9.3.5 jailbreak, where they had at Black Hat this year a talk about making a jailbreak on the iOS 9.x, of course with all the exploits required and the techniques and so on. But this guy is going to focus on the Apple Watch instead of the iPhone, which is going to still be very interesting. Also, he is going to present the bad side of the jailbreak, because he says in here, quote, "And following its security issues, compromised Apple Watch can spy on a user. Watch jailbreak does not require a phone jailbreak, so spyware can run automatically only on a watch. I will make a demo on how a jailbroken watch can access user data such as messages, contacts, GPS, or activate microphone without any indication it is happening." End quote. So this guy is going to present something very interesting in the world of jailbreaking. Although it's jailbreaking for Apple Watch, this can easily be ported to an iPhone, because somehow the watchOS is a stripped version of iOS, which means the kernels are going to somehow have common parts at some point. But anyways, the second talk is going to be held by this guy in here, Liang Chen. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he's the co-founder of the Tencent Keen Security Lab, or previously known as Keen Team. Now, this guy is going to talk about the kernel security enhancements, I want to say enforcements for some reason, in iOS 10. And he will talk about the improvements Apple has made on the iOS kernel, as well as the security mitigations, the exploits that were patched, and of course, about anything that happened in the exploit side, in security side of Apple during, as you can see in here, iOS 10.1 and 10.3.x. Again, these two guys in here are going to talk about vulnerabilities, mechanisms of exploitation, and mitigations. A lot of them are going to bring ideas to the future jailbreakers, which is going to be pretty easy. But for some reason, as you can see, Pangu team doesn't have their schedule in here, which makes me very curious about why is that. Probably they didn't set it yet, they don't know what they're talking about at MOSEC. I pretty doubt that. Probably they want to keep it hidden, they want to keep it secret for the moment, which is going to be pretty interesting. Let us switch to the next thing, which is again bad news. If you're running on an iPhone that is running iOS 8, then you probably want to jailbreak it. And if you just got it, do not update it. But unfortunately for the moment, you can no longer jailbreak iOS 8 and 8.1 using Pangu's tool, because of course, as you can see, the Pangu's tool for iOS 8 is completely down. Websites of Pangu's team, including the iOS 9 jailbreak and also the iOS 7 jailbreak, which is way older, work perfectly and seems to be in good shape. But the iOS 8 jailbreak tool website has been for some reason reset, and the Nginx software for a web server has been reinstalled, which means that the this part of the server has been wiped clean, which means if you download the Pangu 8 tool, you're not going to be able to use it. It's going to be broken because the tool is actually downloading a couple of files from the server. If you're using iOS 8 or 8.1, because there are a lot of people that still use or still buy that devices, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to jailbreak it for the moment. Of course, Pangu probably is going to fix this, but it's been this way for a while now, and I really hope they did notice the fact that the website is down. Anyways, if your device is running iOS 8.1.3 to 8.4, you're going to be fine, because you can still use TaiG's jailbreak tool, available for both Mac and Windows, and you can still download it and jailbreak your device. But if your device is running iOS 8 to 8.1, unfortunately you can't, but do not update. keep you updated, of course, if Pangu fixes this tool, because it's still important and it's still being used. Now, in the past couple of days, in the past week, a lot of fake IPAs for fake jailbreaks on iOS 10.2.1 and 10.3, 10.3.1, iOS 9.3.5, and so on have been leaked to the general public, and a lot of you have been asking me to analyze them and to see if they're malware or they are fake or so on. So a lot of people are making these fake jailbreaks for some reason. We have analyzed quite a few. I'm going to have a couple of links in the description. So yeah, try to actually be cautious on what you download and what you install, because for some reason there is no iOS 10.2.1 jailbreak for the moment, and probably is not going to be for a while now, and therefore almost any IPA that you see on the internet, if it's not from a good source like Pangu, Taiji, or I don't know, somebody trusted like Sorek or Look at Desco and so on, then you should probably avoid it or ask me first. And yeah, this is actually it. This is what's happening right now in the jailbreak community, and of course, the bad news and the good news, the certificate expiration, but also the alternative created by Look at Desco, and yeah, the MOSEC, that is going to be pretty damn interesting, I think, and I feel that. And also the new Substrate Enabler, the new Substrate fix for the iPhone 7 users that run Yalu Jailbreak. This is something good for the moment. I really hope you will stay updated, and I really hope I made things clear on wherever we are at this point. There is currently only a jailbreak for iOS 10.2 and lower on the iOS 10, and there is no jailbreak for iOS 10.2.1 and up, and therefore anything you see will be fake, unless proven wrong. So, till the next time, I'm GeoSnow. Like this video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and subscribe to stay updated. Peace out!